Hi, how are you guys? Good afternoon, good afternoon. So basically, I just want to explain to you the strategy that I use for this particular swing trade that I have taken earlier this week when the market opened. So it was a very simple strategy that I used, and I just want to explain it so that way probably you can catch it as well. Now, this is also something that you can use in the lower time frames as long as the trend is clear to you. All right. So here it is. The first thing we have to identify is the beginning of a structure. All right, so the structure here started with this point. This was the beginning of the structure. Now, how do we determine if this is an uptrend or a downtrend? It's very simple. In an uptrend, we're gonna be creating higher lows and higher highs, higher lows and higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Now, when do we start looking at this particular trend or at this particular trade opportunity? Once the trend is broken. So in this particular case, we had a bullish trend, right? That began from here. But look what happened. Once we created this higher high, we created a new higher low, but then we failed to create a new higher high. This shouldn't been over here. And then continuing in this particular pattern that was happening before, right? But this didn't happen after this particular situation occurred. So what happened here? Once we had this break of a structure, which basically is this push to the downside, breaking the previous higher low, higher low. So basically broke two previous higher lows in here, right? Once that happened, when that happened, then at this point we're determining that this could be a potential reverse of the market. However, there's a lot of times where people mistaking this as reverse because they enter trades right away. You have to wait for the new structure to start forming. And in this particular case, we had to wait for the new lower highs and lower lows to be formed. So at this point, we're determining that the structure is broken by looking at the trend going the opposite direction. So at this point, we're looking at how lower highs, lower lows are being formed. As you can see, lower highs and lower lows are being formed. Where do we enter the trade? We had two cases or two opportunities to enter the trade. However, when I entered the trade was around this area because I missed the opportunity here. I wasn't looking at this pair for me to enter a trade. So the market opened and I saw the potential of entering a trade. The perfect scenario to enter the trade, once we have a 1, 2, 3 move, that's determining already the trend, and then you just have to wait for the pullback to that previous level and then enter your position. So here wouldn't be a perfect entry confirmation for you to take. All right. However, I didn't take it there. I took it around here. Why? Because this is the time that I was looking at the chart when I wanted to enter the trade. Right. So now, what is the price doing at this moment? At this point, we have already accomplished roughly about 50 pips in this particular position. Yeah, roughly about that. Right. Yeah, somewhere around that 50 pips, 40, 50 pips. What's happening now? So our stops are already at break even, but we're looking at this very, very, very closely. Why? Because as you can see, look, this was a rejection zone or area, however you want to call it. The price came here, it rejected that area. Then the next 4 hour is showing very little sellers push in this area. And now we're looking at this particular one. However, there's not volume right now in the market, but we got to look at this very, very cautiously and closely. Even though our stops are already at break even, we want to see if this structure is gonna break or not. If it breaks, perfect. Then it's just a matter of waiting for this to keep pushing down, probably down to this area where the other trend or the bullish trend started. So once we have that, that's when we're gonna be able to see a particular break of support, probably come back and test it as resistance and keep continuing down. Again, the strategy is very simple. Number one, you're determining a trend. This trend was bullish. You wait for that trend to get broken, or basically for the, if it's a bullish trend, you're waiting for a higher low to be broken. So at this point, this higher low was broken by this push, and this higher low was broken by this push. Once you came back in here, tested as resistance now, not as support anymore, we're determining that there is a 1, 2, 3 move, and now we're possibly able to enter a position around this area. If you were to enter a position here, where your stops would have been? Very simple. Your targets again will probably be at the beginning of that bullish trend, and then you want your stops to be around this area right here. Why? Because this was the previous lower high, and you want the price to, if it's gonna continue down, you don't want the price to go and disrespect this previous lower high. If the price is gonna continue down, you have to make sure that the market is continuing to create lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, possibly around here, lower lows. You understand? So your stops will always be above the previous lower highs in this particular situation. All right. So this would have been the perfect entry confirmation for this one. However, I wasn't looking at the market at this time. I look at the market in here. It gave me another opportunity to enter the trade, and that's what I'm doing. This is a swing trade. We have it open, and it's gonna practically be there until we see a break of a structure, or until it reaches the final destination. All right. I hope you understand the strategy. This is a very simple way to look at the market. Very simple way to look at price action. It's just a matter of identifying key points, lower highs, lower lows, follow a structure, wait for the structure to get broken, wait for the new structure to start being formed. You enter positions as you break and come back as a pullback. It's a very simple strategy, and you can use it on the 1 hour time frame, 30 minutes time frame, 15 minutes time frame, 5 minutes time frame. The lower the time frame, the faster this is gonna happen. The higher the time frame, probably the most rewards you're gonna get for your trade. But at the same time, you gotta wait a lot more than just the lower time frames. Alright guys, I'm gonna let you go. I don't want this video to be too long. I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys like it. And very simple strategy, very simple trade. And that's it. That's just what we're doing. See you to the next one. Take care. Bye.